In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a backend class on C++ Embarcadero. Okay, now compiler is on. Alright, the first thing I'll just go and create my form as usual. Just to create form. Okay, now I'll just save as, let me just call it back end. Just call my folder back end. Then save. Now I'm going to go to files, new. I'm having a unit. Then I choose a unit. Now after choosing a unit, I want to save my unit. Let me call it underscore customer, because we will create a class called custom, where we'll use it to receive information from a customer. Then we store it on our backend class, then we display that information. Okay, let me save my class. Alright, now I'm having here, this is my project file there. So in order for my project file to work with my backend class, I need to go and take my backend class header file and paste it on my CPP project file. Now let's go and create our class. Here is where we will define our functions. Then here on HPP is where we'll create our class. Okay, let me save and go. And I also need it's a VLC. Okay, I also need to include my VLS on my class. Also need to include it here. Okay, now let's go and create our class. The first thing, we have a reserve weight which is called class. Now we're having a class, which means we will need a name of a class. Let's say customer. It's a good practice to start with a capital letter on your class name. We're having a class called customer. Yeah. Okay, our class, we will have private. We'll have private, and we'll have public, which means those variables which we define under private, they cannot be accessed. They cannot be accessed outside our class. They cannot be accessed outside our class. Those variables which we define under, which we will declare under private, they will be only accessed within our class. Then those attributes or behaviors of an object which we will create later when we want to use our class, we will declare them under public, which means we'll access them anywhere we want. We can access them by just declaring an object of class called customer. Then we use that object to access our attribute. Okay, let's now declare. Let's have ANSI string. Let's just say cast name. We have ANSI string. We have cast name. Let us have ANSI string cast gender. Okay, let me just have these 3 variables in order to make it being simple, because it's just tutorial for basics. Let me just have those 3 variables. Okay, now what I will have, I need to have a default constructor which I will use it when an object of a class called customer is being declared, which will go and initialize my variables as a default. Then now let me have a name, because the default constructor always a name of a class. Okay. Now let me have a void which I will use to set my data members. Let me say set data. My set data will receive an C string. It will also receive an C string, and also receive an C string for gender, and C string for gender. Now I have set my data members. I need also to have get method, which I will use to return whatever is been set by a user. Whatever is been inserted by a user. Okay, now I'll have ANSI string, which is my return type for my first get method of customer name. Then I will have get let me say get name. Let me say get name. Then I will copy and paste, because it's the same, 3 times. Then I will have get name and get gender. Let's name. Then get gender. Alright, now let's go and save. Now we must go and define our member functions on under CPP. Okay, what I'll do is just say, because I've copied them, just paste them. Okay, now remember that each member function that we have defined on our header function, it must have a class name where it belongs to. For example, here we must have a customer, which means we have a class called custom. That class has a function which is called get. Okay, what I'm meaning is like we have a customer, then a customer now we have defined our member function. Now we need to first, because this one is a default construct, we need to initialize our data member variables of a class as default. Okay, which means I can go and copy them, then paste them. Now I can just give them default like nothing. Okay, now my member function called setData, it belongs to a class called customer. This member function, which is called that, receive 3 parameters, and these parameters, the first parameter is customer name, second parameter is surname, third parameter is a gender. Alright, now when it receives those 3 parameters, it take their values and set my class data member function, my class data members variables. It receive data to these 3 variables from a user, and then it set my variable which are inside the class, which we have declared them under a private. Okay, now we need to set my variables. Let's first, we have this, which is this pointer. Okay. This name equals to this and let me copy and paste 2 times because it's the same. Okay, now I'm having my function which is called getName. GetName belongs to a class called customer, and its return type is string, which means it returns the name of a customer, which means I must say return. What do you return? You return cust name. Now I'm having a surname. Return. What do you return? You return a cast surname. Then I'm having gender, which I say return. What do you return? Cast gender. Now we are done creating our class. We can now, let me just copy this one, and then let me just include it. Yeah. Let's include it here, then to like this. Now, okay, I can now save and then close my class, because I have already included on my project file. Now we can go here and have 3 edit boxes. Like the first one is for customer name, the second one is the name and the gender. Then we say add the data. Once we have added data, which means our data will be set on our Backend class. Then after that we can say show that data, where we can go and use our get method to retrieve your customer name and so on, and customer gender. Okay, let's say let's have edit box. Let me have an edit box. I need 3 of them. Edit box. Okay, after that let me have button. Yeah, let me have a button. Okay, let me just call my button as save. Okay, now let me name this edit box. It's edit name, which means it would receive customer name. Let me have this one name, edit surname. Let me have this one, which would be edit. Okay, first one is name, edit gender. Alright, now I will go to inside the button called save, and then first I'll create an object by saying customer, control space, then I get customer, which is my class name. Now I want to create an object of my class called customer. So let me just, in capital in small letters, just say customer, then close, which means I'm having a custom as my class, which is in capital letter. I want to create it object which is called custom as small letter, as it starts with a small letter. Now I can just say customer if I want to access my dot. So you see, we first define our member function as set data, get name, and get name, and get agent. Now, someone may ask, what about those variables that we have declared on our class? Those variables will not be showing on our front end. Like I cannot say front end. They cannot be showing. Simple because they are being declared under private, which means they can only be accessed within a class. They can only be accessed within a class. So, but you'll see later because I'm going to also do a tutorial which is based on inheritance. Okay, now let me just declare variables, 3 variables. Let me just declare 3 variables. Let me say ancestry. Let me just save cast name. Let me just copy that name. Then paste. Let me just say here cast name. Let me just here say cast gender. Now, okay, remember that we have an edit box called edit name, which means it must go and assign customer name. So I'll say edit name. We receive a text. Now it's the same as edit. We receive a text. Now it's edit gender. We receive a text. Now I have received my information from my edit box. So now I want to go and set my member function, which is called dataset. First I would say customer. Okay. Alright, yeah, I would say customer. Now I would say dot. Then first parameter, it's customer name, second it's a name, third it's a gender. Okay, now I have set my set data member function, which means automatically my get method are now being set. The each get method has also been set. So Now let me just have here, let me just have label. I'll have 3 labels. Let me just have, oh yeah, let me have a label. Yeah, let me have a label which is say name LPL cast info, which is LPL customer information. Alright, now what I want to happen is that when he says save, I want the information which is being set on my member function of a class called customer. I want also that information to be displayed on my label. Now I will go and say LPL. Then we have a caption which we use to display the information. Now I'm going to call my customer. Then my customer is having a method called get plus the tab. Now let's say custom okay, let me just say customer dot get name. Then we have customer get agenda. Then I close. Now let's save, and then let's just hope we are having no errors, and then let's run our application. Okay, first I will have a name which I will call P1. Then let's say Dubai, maybe. Let's have a gender. Let's say Meili. Now let's just say save. Then now we have Simpiwe Dube mail. Then we are done. I hope if you want to create a backend class on C++ Embarcadero, you will find this tutorial helpful for you. I thank you.